Me and Ryan. Now, I've not spoken about this with anybody. You know, somebody who had been in prison for kidnap and torture was normal for me. Somebody who did drugs and, you know, I married a drug dealer. That was normal. November, he wasn't where he was supposed to be, and and
broke your trust.
Yeah. And then I was made to feel as if it was all me again. My life. Never again. I'm sewing my fanny up. I'm done.
So today in our Hope Clinic, we have a very exciting guest and someone that we've known for a very long time, and that is the lovely Kerry Katona. And she's here today. Obviously, we've spoken to her about lots of things throughout our time of knowing her, but today she's coming to talk specifically about, you know, loyalty and trust and how hard it is to sort of regain that trust after having had many years of experiences of that trust being broken.
I think Kerry is somebody that she just astounds me because of she is somebody that is so fiercely loyal, and yet, as you say, you know, she has had a trust broken on many occasions, you know, from heartache and stories being sold and goodness knows what else. But what I love about her is that despite that, she has this incredible ability to brush herself down and get back up again.
And I think that's so rare.
It is. And if I think of Kerry, I think of one word, and that's resilience. And no matter what happens, you know, 2 bankruptcies, for example, she bounces back and she will do whatever it takes for her and her family. So to think that Kerry has brought pretty much 5 children up on her own is just so admirable.
Yeah.
And, you know, she's just a lovely person and resilient. I mean, I think that's the best word for her.
I mean, I'm really interested to hear how she does get back up and how she does trust again, because I think so many people that we meet and so many people listening will resonate with the fact that when you have had your trust broken so many times, you start to become quite sort of like protect yourself basically, and you become quite reserved with trust, and you maybe don't let people in, and that can cause future relationship problems, because if you then don't let people in, you can't have a healthy relationship, and it can prevent future relationships from the past, if that makes sense.
And you can just literally shut down.
Yeah.
But you shut down for protection, but ultimately you're the one that's losing out.
Having said that, yes, absolutely, you have your trust broken, and yes, a shutdown is one. But then the other one, and I suppose this was me when I met you, Nick, was that, you know, I met you after having had my trust broken so many times that when I met you, I thought this is too good to be true. So I sabotaged our relationship.
Well, you tried your best.
I did, yeah. I tried my best and like tried to break you down. Could I get shut of him, Liv? Oh, he hung on in there.
35 years on, still here.
Look at that. But yeah, honestly, that is the other side, isn't it? That you try and sabotage your next relationship, and invariably that is when a good one comes along. I must commend you, Mr. Speakman, for hanging on in there. Well done.
Yeah,
Resilience,
commitment,
and resilience.
And now he's reaping all the benefits.
There you go.
So
yeah, 2 fabulous children and a wonderful wife. Anyway, funny, look, we were talking about you, Kerry. We were saying that of literally, and this is from the heart, genuinely now, that of all the people we know, you are probably one of the most loyal and trustworthy people that we've sort of known in our lives. But what really stands out to us, and we sort of, you know that we really care about you. We see you as part of our, you know, you are family to us.
But sadly, loyalty is quite a rare commodity.
Very rare.
And
extremely rare.
And despite the fact that you're super loyal and you stand by people and you always give people the benefit of the doubt.
I'm loyal to a fault, me.
You are.
Even to a point, like I've just been through a court case with an old, I don't know how much detail, I can't actually talk about it, unfortunately. But even when I was sacking him, I was crying. Because I always think of the good things, and I always think, but, you know, I give everyone the benefit of the doubt, but I know my conscience is clear.
But you've a lot of people, and certainly that we've, on your journey, even sort of the last, I think we've known you, 15, 20 years.
18.
Is it 18? Is it?
Heidi.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
18
course,
years, yeah.
of course.
Got to think back to
Yeah,
Mark Day.
golly.
Mark Craft days.
Yeah.
Fucking.
So even sort of going through those last 18 years with you, you have trusted a lot of people, and a lot of people have gone on to break your trust, which we
I
feel
think I
really
get
sad
took for
about.
granted.
Yeah.
I think even with my own kids as well. I think what a lot of people think, oh, it's Kerry. Oh, she'll just crack on. Oh, she'll get through it.
I think to a degree, your kids have a bit of a free pass to do that.
Well,
That's
they
what
don't,
do.
the little shits. Free pass my ass.
But
They're the
they
hardest
might use
bastard
them.
word.
They might use that free pass.
No,
But
I think what it is, I think because I have this habit of just cracking on and dusting myself off, people don't understand the consequences and the heartbreak that it entails me, that it gives to me. Even the shit. I've been through a lot with my kids as well. They bring a lot of stuff to the table, which it's not my story to
so
tell.
here's the question.
Are we in therapy? This is what he does to me when we're in therapy. Let me ask you a question. That's what he does. I shit you not. He'll go, let me ask you a question. Go on, Nicholas.
Go on, go for
So
it.
here's a question then. How, time after time, you get let down, time after time, people break your trust. How do you move on?
I don't think you have a choice, do you? I think so. I've got to a point in my life now that every morning I wake up, I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful, and so many people would change their lives with me in a heartbeat. I think we've all got our own shit going on. We've all got crap. Everyone's got their own story. I'm not a victim. I used to be. I used to live in a self-pity party. Poor me.
There's the answer.
Yeah.
You're not a victim anymore.
I'm not a victim.
And I
And
think
I'm
that-
grateful. I've got no regrets. I don't regret the drugs. I don't regret the bankruptcies. I don't regret the marriages. I don't regret any of it because I'm where I am today. And I think I'm just grateful that I opened my eyes this morning and my beautiful 10-year-old's in bed cuddled with me. I mean, I've got a roof over my head. I've got clothes on my back, food in my belly. I might have kept my tits out, do it, but how grateful am I?
But do you know what? What I love about you, Kerry, is that
Everything.
despite that, everything, faultless.
My humour.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have me in stitches.
Yeah.
But what I really do love about you is that you are a survivor, and I do think that to some degree you were born having to be a survivor.
I didn't know any different.
No.
I've never known any different. But I think my mindset over the last, I'm going to say last 10, how long's George been dead now? It's horrible to say that, isn't it? He's been dead 6 years this year. He's
Is it
been dead.
really?
Bloody hell. I think over the last, I'm going to say 7, 8 years, my mindset has changed into needing and wanting.
Explain.
Yeah. Well, I used to think I needed George. I couldn't live without him. So because of the way I was brought up, somebody who had been in prison for kidnap and torture was normal for me. Somebody who did drugs and, I married a drug dealer, that was normal. And then to go meet somebody like Ryan, who was very quiet and nice and safe, that wasn't normal. I mean, if I'd have met Ryan the same time I met George at that time, Ryan had bored me to death.
I do actually remember just before you met George, actually, that I think
I brought everyone to you for
for something, vet them. And the ones that were like really quiet and nice, you would say that often, they bore me.
They bore me.
I can't.
Because I didn't know any different.
Yeah.
And then to have gone from someone so extreme as George to go with Ryan, who was completely opposite, I think I used to try poke that bear a little bit because that's what I was kind of used to. And if we did argue, it was like a snail going into the shell. But I mean, we would argue, and not all the time I was right, but I was never wrong. Just stating the facts.
So that transition to Ryan, someone who would have bored you in the past,
It's now like a safety net for me. Like, obviously, everyone knows me. Ryan has split up.
How long ago did you split up?
November.
Okay, so
It's not long ago.
No.
Well, something happened in June that I ignored and just, you know.
are you able to tell us what?
No,
that,
I don't
Okay,
really want to
that's
go
fine.
into it for his sake either. Not me. Making that really clear. You know, you go on someone's phone. Anyway,
Oh,
we were
okay.
moving house in June. I ended up moving in on my own. So it was from them really. And then November, he wasn't where he was supposed to be, and and
Broke your trust.
yeah,
And,
and then I was made to feel as if it was all me again. And you start. I came to you guys in
You did.
tears,
You were
questioning
broken.
my
I know
own.
you did.
I was like,
I know you
You
did.
were.
going, is it me? Am I? You know, obviously, I might. You know, when someone comes, you know, I'm away touring, I'm working my ass off, and I don't know. I just feel it. Say a 7-year hitch, don't they? A lot of people. I don't know, but anyway,
it was hard to see that in you, Kerry, that when you came to see us after you and Ryan.
I questioned my.
You
Because
were
I'm a loud
you were-
person.
you
I
were-
And
question
the
it.
interesting part about that, not only when he came to see us and he questioned, is this me? The fact that something had happened in June and you overlooked it.
I
Right.
forgave it and just
Right.
said, I'll never
But-
mention it again.
I understand that, but
Because you know what I said to you guys, I said, you know, look at people who've been together for like 30 odd years, there's infidelity, there's and they work it out. And I just kept thinking of that, thinking, I always look at the good things, you know, and all the good moments and the memories and the holidays. And I try and think about that. But now looking back on things, I wasn't happy for a while, you know, I'd always end up at my mum's crying or saying, you guys know me better than anybody. And all I want to be is loved.
100%.
That's it.
Yeah.
I just want...
I just
just
it's
want
not a lot
so-
to ask, really, is it? Let's be honest.
And Ryan, and I'm not gonna start slagging Ryan off, but he did it in his own way. Unfortunately, Ryan is not emotionally available for me. I want someone who's really gonna show their emotions for me and grab me and tell me they love me and how worthy I am, and that's what I want.
And you deserve
But-
that as well.
and
quite
you
honestly.
deserve that, but
Doesn't mean he's a bad person.
Absolutely
No, I'm not
not.
saying
He's not a
We're
bad
not saying
person.
that.
in
We're not
fact,
saying that.
in Ryan's corner right now, I'm going to stand up for him.
He's the best one we've had. Do you like how I said
Well,
we?
yeah.
You know what I say? It's the best one we've had so far.
Yeah.
So
yes,
far.
so far. But I'm also going to stick up for him and say, from the moment you met him to the moment you split up, was he really any different?
Yeah, he was, and I told you this. He was. I think what fucked me and Ryan up was becoming business partners. I think I'll never forget. I was at my lawyer's because I live with lawyers. If there's a lawyer out there who's single, let's get
There you
married.
go.
Oh, God, that will save me
Because
so
it'll
much
save
money.
me a fortune. I remember being at my lawyer's going through this case. I was there with David Sherborne, actually. And I thought, God, I need a shit. I've got the shits really bad. And I left Ryan that morning at my house. And I remember he went to work. He used to work in insurance. A guy with a normal job, because sometimes I feel like that's what I've always just wanted, normality.
Yeah.
A 2 up, 2 down, because you guys know I never craved to be rich and famous. I wanted to be a mum and a wife.
Just wanna be loved.
After being in foster home and refuges, and you know, I just was just so desperate for normality. I remember going around Natasha Hamilton's house and her mum and dad, George and Maria, and Georgie's cooking like spag ball, and you know, I just thought, God, that's all I've ever wanted. So I think that's, you know, George, fucking hell, can't keep up. Has anyone got Google? Can we just write a list down of our mixes? We might be here all bastard day. Stuart, how long you got? So Ryan was working in insurance, and I remember driving home, and I thought, because I said, I've got to leave the meeting. I'm so sorry, I really don't feel well. And I had to drive from London to Crowborough. And I remember driving thinking, and I was stuck in traffic, and I was in the middle. There was nowhere I could go. And I remember thinking, and I had to throw up all over myself and drive home. I remember going home and ringing Ryan saying, do you feel sick? Have you had anything dodgy to eat? And he left work like that in a heartbeat to come and look after me. I was like, wow, just that tiny little, not something extravagant, not a big diamond ring, or he just was there for me to make sure I was okay.
Compassion and caring.
That, wow. And then he bought me some trainers from Russell and Bromley. I thought, no one's ever bought me anything before. He bought for me, and then I was struggling, and he lent me £5,000. Paid him back in the same week, but I was like, wow.
Never before
Has that happened. And then I got a bit scared. I was like, oh shit, I don't know if I want to be in a relationship. I think I do this a bit. And then I was like, whoa, too much, too soon. Bang, cut it off, wasn't ready. And then we got back together pretty quick anyway. But it was just something that was, he never, I was like, God, this, But what I noticed with Ryan from day one was his timekeeping. I find it really disrespectful when you're late. I'm never late for anything, ever. If it's in my diary, and it's not just something you sent a message to, if it's in my diary, I'm there. I'm really professional like that. And Ryan was always late for everything. He's got no organisation. I don't want to sit here slagging Ryan off, but that I remember him leaving me waiting 4 hours for a date once, and I just thought, it was excuse after excuse. But it's just something he's never going to change. But that's something that's really important to me because my time is very valuable, which is, it's precious.
Yeah.
My time and energy, because when I do work and I am an entertainer and I'm on the stage and I'm performing, or if I walk in a room and people's expecting Kerry Katona to walk in, I'll give you my all. I'll give you that persona that you want, and it is very draining, So that was a massive issue for us. But I also
think
time's important.
Yeah. Time, that is all we have.
Yeah. The universal currency.
Yeah, that is all we have. And I think and then we became business partners, and Ryan was fantastic in helping me. I mean, I was literally about to go into bankruptcy, my third one, during COVID. Like a lot of people.
Trouble?
Yeah, well,
Hat-trick.
Well, why not? I like, me. Richard Branson did. Why can't? No, we don't want to go down that road. Anyway. And I sold my dignity. On OnlyFans.
Whose idea was it to do OnlyFans?
Mine.
Was it?
Yeah, that was mine. Well, it was actually a friend. It was actually one of my paps who do me set up pap pitch. So why don't you try OnlyFans? I thought, you know what? I used to do nuts. I used to do Zoo and FHM. Why not?
And so what you're saying is that the relationship then started to change.
So we set up a business then, and then we started doing. We did MFit platform, which we're still business partners. This is what's making it quite tricky at the minute.
Can you just going back a little bit? How did
ask your question? I'm taking piss.
I
know you are. Another question has come in, but not just yet.
Go on.
Just taking you back a little bit. When you that seed was planted, and you thought,
what seed? Which one?
Getting your boobs out.
Boobs.
Oh.
Yeah. OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Right. Someone said to you, and you are and you wrestle with it from because I know that's something against what you would want to do. You're a prude, aren't you? I am a
prude, but it also got me out of where I was as a kid.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with my not so much now because I look like a orangutan in jungle, because I lost that much weight. I've looked like a breastfed the country. Honestly, tripping over my nipples. But when I was young, my tits were phenomenal. They really were, and I was a pretty girl back in the day.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I was a bit of a tomboy as well, because girls didn't like me, and I've never been one of these birds who's like, I've never been like that. I've always been a bit of a tomboy, but my tits were my get out of my council estate of, and I remember my mum used to have a page 3 picture of me on a wall. So I didn't mind getting my tits out.
But well done for using your assets.
Oh, I don't. I don't give a shit in that.
So the seed's planted. You think, okay, this could be okay. All right. So how you have the discussion with Ryan, who at the time you've been in a relationship for a while. How does he view it? What's his thoughts on that?
Ryan, it wasn't so much Ryan's opinion that mattered to me, because, to be honest with you, it was more my children.
Yeah.
This is my body, and I'll do with it what I want. Not up to Ryan. That's the end. That's it.
Yeah, I was just
for
interested.
me.
Yeah,
it was for what my kids, what they thought.
What did they think?
If anything, Ryan eventually, was the one like, look, sex industry is a big money maker. You're selling a fantasy at the end of the day, and that's what I'm doing. But for me, it was wasn't Ryan's opinion that mattered. It was my children's.
Tell me about your kids then.
Well, one of them's in a cupboard locked under the stairs. For me, I sat them all down in Crowborough. And I explained it to them. I showed them my page 3 photographs I did in the past, and they know like when I go on the beach or go topless. And my kid, we're all very open with each other.
Yeah.
We're all very
love
just.
that.
We're all. I can't even have a shit in peace without one of them sat next to me on the floor.
But I love that.
We're
I love
all
that
very
you're all
open.
so
Like my
close.
kids tell me when
Things happen.
secret, yes, the most intimate things ever, and that's how I want it to continue. I'd rather my children be able to come to me. The only one who was funny with it was Lily. He was a bit.
How old was she at the time?
Well, I've been doing it 4 or 5 years. So what? She's 22 on Monday.
17.
Yeah.
17 one. And I get that because I think that's sort of an age where you become a little bit more aware. But I must commend you. Obviously, we know your kids. And that's one thing that despite everything that you face, despite... And listen,
The reason I did it was for them.
Absolutely. And
I
know
couldn't
that
even pay me
100%.
rent.
Yeah.
Do you remember the jukebox you used to have?
Yes.
From Brian
Yes.
that I got as
You
wedding.
love
I had
that,
to
I know.
sell that to pay. I upset. I had to sell it to, and that was a £16,000, 20 grand
I know you
jukebox.
love that,
Yeah.
didn't
I had to
you?
sell
Yeah.
it for 1,900 quid to pay me rent, and I was like, well, I've got no work, and I shit you not, in that first month I made 160 grand
Wow.
by getting my tits out on OnlyFans.
Nick.
Right.
The Speakmans.
Yeah.
But don't forget, this was COVID. So
Yeah.
for me,
Yeah.
it was a no fucking brainer.
Well done. So then you get into a business relationship now. So move sort of fast tracking a little bit, and you so you've gone from a sort of romantic relationship, and now you're transitioning into this new element with Ryan. Not just your partner, not just support with the children, but now also.
Please bear in mind as well, Ryan was a godsend when George died. I was with Ryan when George passed away.
Really?
So DJ was only 4.
How did George feel about Ryan? Did you know about him?
No, they never met.
You didn't know about him.
No, don't forget, I had a non-molestation order against
Right,
George.
okay.
So I remember Ryan taking me to the court for the divorce, and George didn't turn up because George refused to divorce me. And I always used, because Ryan's only little. Sorry, Ryan. But like George was like 6'3".
Yeah,
you know,
he
that
was
was the kind of
a really
bloke I
big
used to
guy,
go
yeah.
for. And, you know, I mean, look at my exes. Not one of them look alike.
No.
None
Nothing,
of them look
nothing.
They
alike.
are all so
I haven't got a type.
No.
I haven't. It's the energy that I get off them at that
Yeah.
time and that moment, and then, I mean, I think I am still in love with Ryan. There's a lot of love there still.
I think
I don't think I'll ever go back with Ryan.
No, 'cause what I think-
ever.
what-
I think
what I've-
I want to be so.
it changed, didn't
yeah.
it? I think what happened was
I became an asset. I became more for me, and this is one of the things with me and Ryan. Now I've not spoken about this with anybody, so I think with me and Ryan, I don't want to sit here slagging Ryan off. He's not here to defend
You're not
himself.
slagging him
I'm
off.
sure I was a nightmare, you know. And for me, I am a control freak. I'm very organised. Ryan's the complete opposite, you see. So I used to try and sit Ryan down and say, if I could tattoo the word balance on your forehead, I would. Because it was either, when we were first together, he was so ripped that he has obsessive periods. He goes through obsessive periods. And it was the gym. He has no concept of time. He has this very expensive watch that I think, can he even tell the time? You know, and for me, I'm very good at wearing different hats. I'm accustomed to it. I can walk in a room and I can change my whole personality to adapt to a room because it's something it's how I've been brought up to do. That's why I think I've been around for so long. I'm very good at knowing what people want and what they want to see. Whereas, so I am away on tour doing what I do. I can come home and be a mum. I can take that hat off and then I can be a wife. I can take that hat off and then I can be a business partner. Ryan was very one way that there was no passion, there was no romance, and I'm gutted. I'm gutted because he was also my best friend. So this is where I'm struggling now because it got very bad, as you guys are very, very well aware, which we will not go into because I'm not here to do that. Like, no, he is still my business partner. This is almost going into a therapy session. I've got to really hold back on this because I know what I'm like. I'll get verbal diarrhea. Because we are business partners, it's also like I've just pulled out and he's pulled in. So we've got to a point, like, I only saw him for the first time the other night. Did I tell you?
Night, yeah,
I was
yeah,
on
we
phone
spoke,
to you,
yeah.
wasn't I? Because I'm an affectionate person, of not going, oh, you know, because that's how I am. I mean, like, my love language is touch and feel and kissing. I'm never going to get that. I'm never going to get from Ryan what I want. I realise that now.
And
I
I
just
think-
kind of plodded along with
And
it.
I think if you did, then you'd still be together.
Yeah.
And I think that doesn't mean that he's not a great businessman
No, it doesn't.
or a nice guy.
He's a great. I always used to say to Ryan, I think this is my own fault. Maybe I manifested it. I used to go, "You're a great business partner, but a shit fiance." That's what you. And this is not me slagging Ryan off. This is only my side of the version, because I'm
Can
sure
you
he
just-
thinks that I'm a nightmare, and I came to.
And
It must be me.
But do you know what? You're not slagging him off
No, you're
at
not.
all.
It's
And-
just I wanted someone to turn up for me and drop the unit. I want to be somebody's priority because I have to look after everybody.
And you wanted to be first, not the
Yes.
business.
Yeah, I wanted somebody to be there for me. Like, even if I was having a nose job and I was in hospital, don't go off to London and get a tattoo. I get a fucking pat to bring me home. Little things like that bothered me. You know, it's like, I want someone to be there and not feel a burden.
Can I just say, no one's slagging him off, and all this is different agendas.
Yeah,
That's all it
and
is.
it is. And I think, again, it's like, I don't know how Brian, fucking hell,
How long have
George, Matt, Ryan,
Which one is it?
Brian. Let's just get them all out. I've got half of them tattooed on my body somewhere. For fuck's sake, Kerry. What?
No, different agendas.
was
Yeah,
You know,
I
like,
think-
so Ryan, a lovely guy. I think we're
and
establishing
he
that.
adores the
Yeah,
children.
lovely
Yeah.
guy, but we're just establishing different agendas. But what's great that's come out of this, and this is the most important thing, is the realization that you actually don't need anybody.
Well, I used to say this to Ryan before this happened. I used to say to Ryan all the time, I've never, bear in mind, I was on my own for over a year and a half before I got with Ryan. And that is where my spiritual, I was 36, where I really kind of got into my spiritual, higher power, self-love when I spoke with George. That's why I got panicky when I got in a relationship with Ryan, because I made it very clear, I don't need you, I want you. I made that really clear. But then when what happens, you kind of go, fuck, that rejection is like, I almost came a bit of a beg because I think it's just that rejection thing. But I always said that, I don't need you. I wanted you. I wanted to bring you on this journey. And you've been a great, I couldn't have done it without him. You know, but I never needed him. Anyone could have done what he did, but no one can do what I do.
Absolutely.
That's true, but what you did is give him a lot of credit, and you've even said today the credit of he's a great business partner and he transformed things. And I think to some degree, you've given him too much credit when you were still the asset.
But I think this is what I think because I wasn't giving him enough credit when we were together, that's why he did what he did, and he wanted that. But it's like, I don't know what you know, I feel I've given you an amazing 6.5 years. You know, me and my kids are not baggage. They're a fucking luxury. And for you to get to know them, that is a fucking privilege, mate. For anybody, whoever it is ever to come into my life, never again. I'm sewing my fanny up. I'm done. I'm done. I know what a great family, and we are loud, and we are, you know, every family. My kids think our family's really dysfunctional. I don't think it is. I go home, I do the school run, I sit in the living room, and I don't see them. And then they go, why don't we all sit round and have a meal around the table? I go spend £400 a fucking week on food, and none of you fucking eat it. So if you want something to eat, make it your bastard selves. And then it's like, well, what do you want to eat? Well, I don't like that. So it's got to a point, it's like, Heidi, you're 18, Max, you're 17. They come home, they go to the snack drawer rather than making food. But they've got a routine now where I'm going, Heidi, make DJ your dinner, please. To try and give her that kind of bit of responsibility kind of thing. But they think we're dysfunctional because when I walk in the house, there's a shit tipper kick off. But it's like, no.
But we know all your kids, and they're all individual personalities, but they're all amazing in their own
They
right.
are great, aren't they?
Right.
They are.
And no
great
one
job.
cannot say how great I've brought my
Not
kids
at
up.
all. You brought those kids up so well, and you know.
Our Heidi, I'm sorry, I was on FaceTime with her. Our Heidi walked in. She was like, Nick, how good do I look today? She said, hiya.
Yeah,
She said, hi,
nothing.
Nick, how are you? She was like, I
good,
am on
yeah.
point today. That's all.
So your daughter.
So your
she
daughter.
is.
But, you know, you brought them up on your own.
And
Yeah,
Max
I
is
always have
gorgeous.
done.
You know, and to bring 5 children up who are incredible up on your own. I mean,
Without
I
you-
look
you-
back. You know, I look back sometimes, and I think, you know, what I'm really enjoying now. And you know, for me, it's a habit of texting Ryan as well, and look what happened today,
Yeah.
and
Sharing
know
your
it,
life.
sharing my life.
Yes.
That's a habit I have to try and stop myself from doing. Like I sit at home and I like my routine of waking up. I'm okay. I'm good. I like how there's no arguing. Like for me, it's like I did 3 school runs the other day. I was in Bath when Max rang me. You just get on and do it. Where sometimes it'd be a big deal for Ryan to do, which is like, just get it done. It's got to be done. It's what happens when you're a parent. It's a lot calmer. And I feel like the toxicity did run over into the children because it was all we was all going through a lot. There was a court case. It was a lot of shit, but that's done, and he still is my business partner, and he's at home for the first time. He's got DJ tonight because he like I saw him with the kids the other night, and he was in his elements. You could see how much he missed him. So I said, if you want, I'm going with my mum's. It's a birthday. You can, you know, spend your time with, because that's the only dad she's ever known, really.
Do you worry?
I forgot what I was going on about.
Do you worry that you might, or do you feel, right, look, you know that Ryan, great guy, you, amazing, but your agendas perhaps are different. Your criteria of what you need in a relationship is different. However, do you worry that
I'm going to go back into that
just
pattern.
because
It's safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, before even he said this to me on the phone, because I know what I'm like, I know what you're going to say. But for me, it's like, I know my worth. I want somebody to hold me so tight and fucking love me like no one's ever loved me. I don't want a pat on the back while you're still on your phone while I'm upset. I want somebody to really
your romance
worry.
and-
I want someone to actually worry about me and give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, I think at one point I could have been,
So we're looking for a lawyer that gives a shit.
yeah. Yeah. I'm not saying Ryan did love me in his own way, that he tried. And again, it's just, and I think we did something called ayahuasca. And I feel like the universe has just gone, they're not meant to be.
Yeah.
Which is really sad because I miss my mate as well. You know, I miss, and for me, it's like, if I was to ever get with anybody, it goes everywhere. But for him, I'll never know. And I don't think I ever want to know because I'll be devastated. But it's like, I'm happy on my own, and the less I deal with him, the better it is for me.
agree.
Should we check the positives out of
Which is quite difficult because of the work thing as well. So I've had to put him in mute in my phone just so that I don't.
Good.
You know, but I have to try and train
you've gotta break-
myself and
and
my
break
the
brain
habit.
of going, right, okay.
Because it is a habit, isn't it?
It is.
Realistically.
Habit
That's all
breaking.
it is. It's a habit because I'm such affectionate and
Yeah.
I'm an oversharer. Oh, look at this. Or if I see someone on TikTok, the first person I want to send it to is Ryan. I'm going, you've got to sort yourself. You
Yeah.
you
No, you
can't
do.
do that anymore now,
No.
Kerry. You know, he
No.
doesn't want you. You know, you've got to accept that. You've
And
got
the
to
thing
move on.
is, I accept that a lot of people, that you are loyal and trustworthy, but a lot of people have broken your trust. And I think we can all sort of go once, fine, but if it's more than that, then I think there comes a point
I mean,
where...
look at my mum. You know, after all these years, she's still my mum. You know what I went through with my mum.
I do.
She's still.
But
my
you
mum.
but you've changed. She is still your mum and you love her dearly.
I've changed.
But you've
I'm a
changed.
different
Changed.
person.
Yeah.
I think I had to go through what I went through to get to where
Absolutely.
I am, and every day I'm learning something new
And
about
this is
myself.
why you're not a victim. Because
Oh, I've never
you
been.
take
I think when I was
life
with Mark
learning.
Croft,
No,
I
you
was
were a
I was a
victim.
victim. I was in,
Yes.
and I think I was so heartbroken from Brian.
I agree.
That I just was just a pity party, really.
Yeah.
That's what it was. A pity
Absolutely.
party for myself. Oh, poor me. Let's get coked up.
You've got so much clarity these days, though.
Oh, massive clarity.
And
And it's hard. And again, it was like when I came to your house, that therapy session, it was like I'm entitled to feel hurt and upset. And ride that wave of emotion. And even now, I think, like, me and Heidi are supposed to be going away for her birthday. And it kind of still gets me that, why he's not coming with us? It's my first holiday without him in nearly 7 years. You know, and it's things like that. I think, oh.
But these are new adventures.
Yeah, it's
And
new
brand new
beginnings.
adventures.
It is new beginnings. So, and Heidi knows what a terrible flyer I am, and she's a terrible flyer. And I go, but what a great memory! What's a great memory?
And
We'll have a great memory.
I did not
We
know
did
that.
not know
I
that.
think we need you both.
Oh, that's never been mentioned.
Yeah.
It's only a new thing that has happened. That is like, I'm that
Interesting.
close to cancelling this trip
Where's
because
that
I've
come
got
from?
a plane.
Tell us, new thing, when? From when?
It happened on the way back from Thailand with Ryan and the children. I had really, really bad anxiety before going home. I just knew, we'll talk about this at a different time because it's
All right.
quite, I knew something was going to kick off with our little when I got home, which it did. But on the plane, it was funny. Our DJ wasn't well. We had to stop off at Bangkok, get her some medicine. She wasn't feeling well. She slept through it all. The plane just went and dropped. And it was really bad. And Heidi looked at me and said, Mummy, are we going to die? And all I could do was laugh because it was nerves. And I kept thinking, why is no one else like really scared? And I looked at Ryan. Ryan wouldn't look at me. And afterwards, I found out Ryan was like thinking, what would Bear Grylls do in this situation? It's a very, very funny story. But since then, Heidi texted Ryan yesterday and said, what's my mum like flying out of 10? He said 11. Because I'm like, I'm sorry. And I'm holding someone's hand next time.
And
I'm
just
terrible.
that
I've got
flight.
really, really bad.
So
I
that
think
flight
I
when
think-
it dropped.
I think it's that. I don't. Let's do this another time because
Okay.
I think there might be something else attached
Yeah,
to it.
and you're absolutely right.
I know
is.
there is.
But the answer
'Cause
to what would Bear Grylls
You've
do?
taught
He'd
me
do
a
the
lot.
same as you, right? And you would have survived because what happened to the plane?
Nothing.
Right.
I know.
happened to you?
I know this, but I know there's something attached to it.
Yeah, I know,
Fine,
you're
We'll save
absolutely
that for
spot
another
on.
day. So, to sort of bring
You've
this
taught me too
conversation,
much, you see.
I know, to sort of bring this conversation
Is
back.
that it?
and-
I thought I'd be here for hours.
Yeah, no, we've had enough of you already. No, well, it is in. But so you've gone through life, as I said. You know, you're very loyal, very trustworthy.
I will still always trust people. I will
And
always
I
take
love
people for face value
Yeah.
because otherwise I still believe in happy ever afters. I still believe
And,
in
And
and you're
they're-
absolutely
that.
right because if you don't trust people, you're the one that loses out.
So what
Absolutely.
am I, and this, especially being a public persona and being a personality and being in the media, everyone's got their own opinion. And everyone will be, oh, here we go again. So what, because I'm 44, I should cut off the rest of my life? No, my kids are all leaving home. They're all grown up. Does that mean that because that didn't work out that I should? No. I still believe I will find the love of my life, maybe. I've had many loves of my life. At the minute, I want to just learn be in a relationship with myself
And I think that's a really
for at
sensible
least
thing.
12 months.
Yeah, no, I think that's a sensible thing. No
I
regrets.
think, yeah, no regrets. I think
all the learning.
I think when you go through breakups, well, you look for things that you think, and you hold on, yeah. And now, I think I think now I've got this routine of just me and the kids. It's nice. It is really nice. I think the further away from Ryan I stay, the better for me as well, because there's that habit of, he don't want me anyway, but there's that habit of, I need to know my
The
worth.
comfort zone.
It is a
as you know,
comfort zone.
The comfort
It is a
zone
comfort
just
zone.
ends up suffocating you. That's all it
It
does.
is, and
You've got to get out
I
of
know
it.
I want somebody who just love. Just want to be loved. I just want somebody to really give a shit about me and not just about what's coming in the bank or what bills I've got to be paid or what job I've got to do or that cameo. I want someone passionate.
I mean, the good.
You know what I want? Thoughtfulness. Someone who's thoughtful.
But the good news, Kerry, is if we're looking
I'm
at
aware of it.
track records here, the
It's
last
getting
one
better,
was the
better.
best. It's getting better. Isn't
It's
it?
getting better. And then when we've got down to 12, we'll go, we got there.
Yeah.
We got there.
We got there.
12
yeah.
marriages in.
Yeah.
I've hardly got
Um,
there. I must have yes, I've hardly got there with this one. It's been 12 months. It's been
Yeah,
fucking
we'll get
brilliant.
there. We'll
And
He's
the- and-
enjoying his blow jumps.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and the great news is we're on that journey with you, and we will,
And
you know,
you
we'll have to
always have been,
yeah,
you
we'll
always
have to
have
bet a bit,
Bit more vetting next
yeah.
time.
You know
Please.
what?
Bring the-
I think what I've just been through. I think I'm all right. I think I'm done. I think honestly, I've a big kick up my ass just to go. Be on your own. Be on your own for the next 12 months. I don't mind my own company.
I know you don't.
I don't mind it at all. But what I do miss is the affection of.
No, I understand
that's
that,
what I
but look
miss.
at your life. Your life has been primarily on your own, doing your own thing, and what I absolutely love about you is your resilience. You just, whatever happens, it doesn't matter what it is. You get up and you deal with it, and
But
you're
I
not.
think that's gone against me sometimes, especially with the kids as well, and Ryan during the actual relationship, because people just expect me just to crack on.
No,
Like,
hear
I
what
think
you're
this is
saying.
why I have so much surgery, because I just think, oh, I'm going to get looked after. Honestly, I think that's all we spoke about.
Yeah.
I sometimes think
Which
that's
is
why
something that we do need to talk about.
I actually enjoy getting put to sleep and having some. It's not because I need it or I want it. It's just the way the nurses look after me.
Caring.
Yeah.
It's that care you want, isn't
I
it?
want someone to actually care, look after
Yeah.
me and go, you know what, I've got you back. That's what I want.
I think you've lost sight of the fact that if you were in need, that we'd all rally round. Your kids.
Yeah,
us.
but you're not my type either.
Thanks. That's
No,
a
I
kick.
get that. But that's
I know,
another
it's-
problem with
Do you know
me.
one of the-
I don't. As much as I want it, I won't ask for it.
Yeah, but
because
Yeah.
I feel a bit of a burden. It was like being in hospital having some whatever it was, and asking Ryan to bring me some medication from home because the hospital couldn't give it to me. It was a fucking nightmare just asking him to bring it.
I'd like to think about something. About
A number from 1 to 10.
no, I know you just want someone to care, and I think you're losing sight of a lot of people around you that do care.
I get that.
And
I mean it in a
and
different
my
way,
best
though.
and my best example of that, and I always think about this, is Princess Diana,
Yeah.
because that's all she wanted.
Yeah.
Right? She felt that people turned their
I'm
back
not
on
going to
her.
get me fucking can't go through no tunnels now, Nick.
But
I know what you're saying.
she felt that people didn't care, and yet
the whole world.
the whole when she passed away, that funeral was
showing 'em
the
our
most
love.
incredible thing.
Yeah, but I
ever.
don't want to die.
No,
And that's what we're saying.
What we're saying,
Don't-
but you don't have to wait until that
I get,
happens.
no,
Appreciate
I
how
think
loved
I
you
mean
are.
it in a different way. I mean a different kind of love and
No,
care.
I know. But
I understand.
I
You
do,
know
but
what
I
I
also
mean?
think
Yeah.
that you're looking for a mum. That's what you
Do you
want.
think that's
I
what
do.
it is?
I do. I think listening
Think
to what
about
you're
it.
saying.
I think you might, and a dad.
Yeah, that's what you're now seeking. What you didn't
Have
have
as a kid.
and it's because of that mindset that you've gone into these relationships, and because we haven't actually discussed that yet. That's your next therapy session, Mrs. Then that is something we need, because that is what you're looking for, and you're never going to find that, and therefore your future relationships, until we address that, are really doomed to fail, because nobody can parent you, Kerry.
And this is, I think
No.
I parented Ryan a lot. It was almost like I had a sixth kid. I thought, well, this works for me because I'm always a mum. Does that make sense?
Completely.
But you parented your own mother.
I
So
know.
Ryan was the seventh.
Yeah. But that stopped a long time ago. That one did. My mum.
Yeah.
Parenting her.
But I do think that, that's something for the future. I would love to talk to you more about that. However, what I want you to take away from our chat today is the fact that how inspirational you are. Genuinely. You have been kicked down so many times, but you have not allowed those kicks to knock out your ability to love, your ability to trust, your ability to be loyal, your ability to be a great mum, your ability to laugh in the face of adversity. And I think that's something that you should be incredibly proud of, because I know that we feel that pride and love.
I don't know
for
even
you.
know how I got through Panto, That was tough, that was.
I know you did it, but you did it.
Yeah.
You did it because, as always, you put
When
your
you
family
guys came
first.
backstage and there was times I was crying between scenes, and you go on stage, you'd never know.
No,
You wouldn't have a clue.
but a broken heart takes a bit to heal. But you
Hey,
come
look
out.
fucking great, don't I?
You do.
You do.
I've got to
Great,
say,
innit?
you do.
I've got to say, you know, this breakup glow up, it is good, isn't it?
It's fun. It works.
No, it does.
Yeah.
It does. But I think no, you're absolutely right, and I think as well that is exactly what it is that I've craved more than anything. And I think Ryan coming in, it was almost I went from being controlled by George to being in control, and maybe becoming too controlling. I don't fucking
Life's a
know.
lesson.
But interesting
learning.
that you said to Ryan, balance. That's what you want. You need.
Yeah.
You
I
need a
said that to him,
relationship
yeah.
with balance,
Balance,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
that's something that you've never had.
I just want
Yet.
balance.
Yet.
And I will get there.
You
I
will.
will have it.
I know you will. But I'd like to finish on the fact that I want you to realise that what an inspiration you are to so many people out there. You inspire me. And
Not so much me. No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. You know I love you dearly.
and I think you should take that on board and just realise how amazing you are, because it's easy to
No back
forget.
chat here,
I know
Katona.
you.
You know, no, you. I get what you're saying, and it's like when I was working with Kate, and I look at Kate, and everyone has a go at Kate and shit like that, and I think, I mean this about myself as well. You know, so many people have goes at you, and I think you know how easy it is to give up. So easy, just go. And I said to you, I've had dark moments where I've gone, if there was a new Sarah, I took it because I questioned my own. Am I a good mum? You know, not that I'd ever
Remember.
do that. I
Yeah,
said
I
it.
know.
It wasn't that
I
long
know.
ago. It's just for you know, you have those moments of thoughts, and you think, facing this and dealing with it and mending yourself is so much harder and needs so much applause or credit. That if there's anybody out there, it's harder to keep fighting. That needs to be recognised. And it's not about how many times you fall, it's about how many times you get back up.
Absolutely.
And if I can keep getting back up, anyone can do it.
Thanks so much, Kerry. Thanks.
Thanks,
Well.
Kerry. We love you loads.
What's my fee?
You got still and sparkling. That's your fee.
So it was really interesting listening to that chat with Kerry and listening to her views on relationships generally and the relationships she's had. And one thing I thought that was really, really interesting is how she explained, you know, her recent breakup with Ryan and how it's not that he's a bad person. It's not that he's, you know, awful. It's just that his criteria and her criteria aren't a match. And I think that's so interesting because I think how often do people, you know, blame themselves because they've gone through relationships, maybe friendships, and they've had friendship breaks down, relationship breaks down, and they see that it must be their fault because they must have caused these relationships to fail. And actually maybe that person that they met just wasn't, they didn't have the same needs in that relationship and they just weren't right for each other.
In fairness, and I think Kerry sort of alluded to it in the session that we just had, when she first came to see us after that split, she did walk in the door believing that it was her, it was all her fault.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's not about a finger pointing, it's about, like you quite rightly say, that sometimes a relationship just doesn't work because both people are very lovely, but their criteria does not match. And again, one thing, or rather another thing that I think is very admirable is that despite all the relationships Kerry's been in that have, you know, that are broken apart, that she's very respectful of that person and accepts that, you know, I'm not perfect maybe, and that they'll have their version of that event, which obviously we all have our own individual view of everything that happens. But yeah, I think that she's very resilient. I think she's really respectful. I think she's really loyal, even to this day. You know, these relationships that haven't worked, she's still loyal, isn't she?
Yeah, and when agendas don't match, you know, I get and people as a rule think it's my fault because I could have tried harder, I could have done better, I should have done this, I should have done that. And you look at all these scenarios, but ultimately when those agendas don't match, they just don't match. And they can be, you know, you can have two really, really nice people and you as much as you wish that they would match, they just don't
Goes
sometimes.
back to my shoe analogy, doesn't it? Like I always say, relationships are like shoes. Some of them you'll see they'll look beautiful, but you try and wear them and they give you blisters. And then there's another pair that are all right just for certain occasions, but not for every day. And then you get that other pair that they fit brilliantly, and they're such a great pair of shoes. But that doesn't mean that they don't need a little bit of work. They do need rehealing. They might need a new sole. They might need to be polished a little bit. We have to work at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, relationships are like shoes.
And don't forget those shoes that were okay in the moment, but they became really comfy. And sometimes you think, I'm going to go back to those shoes, but they're not you anymore, but they just feel
Or
comfy.
you've grown a bunion and they
Yes.
don't fit.
I mean, you're
Yeah,
making me think now what's really interesting, because there's a lot of psychology research now, sort of newer psychology research, showing about how people that meet online are more likely to have a longer relationship. So we see more like relationship success with like virtual relationships, sort of people that meet on dating websites, dating apps, etc. On the whole, tend to have longer lasting relationships than people that meet sort of in other situations.
Interesting.
One of the theories is like, obviously when you meet someone just in daily life, it's more based on like just physical attraction. Dating apps now, you have to kind of list certain details about yourself, and maybe obviously depending on how they work, they might match you based on certain features. But it's just making me think, I wonder if part of that is because what we're talking about criteria, you can kind of have that criteria from the get-go. So like, some people might meet someone, they want a long-term relationship, that person doesn't want that, but you don't find that out until later down the line and get hurt. Whereas with a dating app, for example, you might be able to list what you're looking for and say, actually, I'm just looking for this, or I'm just looking for that, or this is something that's important to me. And so maybe you're more likely to get those criteria met.
Absolutely.
It's just a thought I'm just having.
Yeah, you're having that comparison beforehand. You're essentially getting the information up front without having to go on day after day to find that out and then go, oh, this doesn't work anymore. But what I'm interested to know from you, Liv, is obviously me and your mum have got a long established relationship, but for you, how did you take anything away from that conversation with Kerry? Is there something that you've learned from it?
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting because I think that, it's one thing that I really liked the fact she said was, you asked her about a love of her life, and she said, like, I've had many loves of my life. And that actually really sort of resonated with me in a way, because it's a funny saying that, isn't it? Love of your life. And I feel like that saying puts a lot of pressure on people to be like, you have to meet one person, that's it, they're going to be the love of your life, and that's it. And then if it doesn't work out, it's like you failed in some way because that wasn't right. And actually I suppose our lives are more like a storybook, and we go through chapters. And, from what she was saying, every relationship she's been in, she's learned something, she's taken something, even if it's just learning what you don't want and how we grow and evolve. And we can't just look at it and be like, that person was the love of my life, that's the end.
But it's interesting as well that love has so many different forms.
True.
You can't just go, well, that was my love of my life. And, and I know that, I mean, she's not here now, but if we could have asked Kerry and said, right, is there still aspects of that previous relationship that you do love? Would there some things that you're saying you learn from each relationship? Do you love the fact that you learn that from that person?
I think she would definitely say that. She actually alluded to that in our discussion.
And I think
anyway.
that saying's problematic as well when it comes to like when people lose a partner, if the partner passes away. If you believe that that's it, the love of your life, it's done, then you're never open to carrying on your life, So I think it's quite a nice thought to think that you don't have to have one person that's the love of your life. And actually that love of your life might be a pet for a time being, and then they might go, and then you might meet a best friend. And then, we kind of travel through life, and it's a journey, and it doesn't have to be this kind of one person, that's it, that's the forever.
And this is why we should live the best day in today that we possibly can. Take every day as it comes and just make the most of each day as you approach it.
And those people that are in your life that you do love, tell them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I think that we often meet a lot of people that maybe aren't so great. So when we do meet the ones that are, we should value them and appreciate them, and also realize that if we do cross paths with a few people that maybe aren't so great, not to take that personally and think that it's a problem with us, because I think Kerry's thing is she is such a loyal person. If she's then crossed paths with people that aren't loyal, she's gone into that assuming that because she's loyal, they'll be loyal as well, and therefore when they're not, she could take that as a problem with her. Whereas realizing that those people, if they weren't loyal to her, they're not going to be loyal forever. That's just who they are, and it's no reflection of her. So I think, like you say, appreciating the people that we do have in our lives that are good, and also appreciating that some people aren't so great, but our life moves on, and that's no reflection of us.